First of all, Ukraine's sovereignty needs to be upheld. Russia will not stop with Ukraine. And if Mr. Putin has a victory in Ukraine, it's not going to be good for many of the countries of Europe. So the end result needs to be that Ukraine has security on its borders, that Moscow is held accountable for the damage that they've caused, and the troops are removed from Ukraine. Now, how that comes about, President Zelensky has laid out a plan. I would hope that we would be supportive of his outline of what he's trying to get accomplished. We all want to see this war end, but we don't want to see it end in a way that just leads to further conflict.
Putin has been very clear. He doesn't want NATO closer to his border. He does not want Ukraine joining NATO. It seems to be a bargaining position that he's not going to let go of. What does the US do in that context?
I think any resolution of Russia and Ukraine has to have assurances that Ukraine's sovereignty will be protected. Now, obviously, if they have a pathway to NATO, that gives them a much stronger position on their security. But there has to be some confidence by Ukraine that what Russia says they'll live up to, and we know in the past they have not. So there needs to be an arrangement that gives confidence to Ukrainians of their sovereignty.
If there is some resolution here, it feels as though the intelligence world is going to be very, very key, because the people that I've been speaking to are saying, look, Russia is not going to be less of a threat just because a hot conflict ends. If anything, it could be more active. We could see more meddling in terms of elections, more gathering of intelligence. The spy pick Tulsi Gabbard as the US intelligence chief. And we mentioned the term shockwaves. This has very much been mentioned in terms of her suggestion. What would this mean for the intelligence world if she was heading up the department?
I think there's going to be a serious challenge on her confirmation. Her record is not one that gives us confidence that she will collect intelligence information to protect us against Russia and other autocratic regimes. It's not just Russia. The alliance between Russia and China, China's helping in regards to Ukraine. North Korea is directly helping in regards to the battle in Ukraine. You've got Iran and its relationship with Russia. So it's not just Russia. It's really the autocratic alliance that's starting to develop. And we need a director of national intelligence that's going to collect information and use us to protect our system of government from the attacks we're seeing, whether it's physical attacks or cyber attacks. And that information needs to be, for us, not shared with our enemies.
Some say that the CIA choice, though, in the form of John Ratcliffe, could be a good counterweight. Do you agree with that, that any concerns that people would have around Gabbard could be counteracted by having someone as strong as Ratcliffe there?
Well, we want individuals that have an appreciation for the importance of intelligence information. We want to be able to break down the firewalls that we have among different agencies so that we share information quickly and that it's used to protect us. So we want professionals in the field that recognize that they have to figure an intelligent way to collect information, share information with the appropriate individuals, but protect us against our enemies.
There's more than one conflict in the room. We already spoke about Ukraine a moment ago, but there's still the Middle East conflict that is playing out. There is potential conflicts with China and its approach to Taiwan down the track. What is the number one issue on foreign policy for the incoming administration?
I think the number one issue, and I think Senator Rubio will agree with this, is China. I think China's influence is much more long-term challenging to our system of government, to our economies. And China is globally interested. So yes, we see that in our hemisphere, in the Western Hemisphere, their relationships in Central and South America. We see that in Africa. So I think China is our greatest concern, but it's also that alliance between Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, that we have to be concerned about.